Hello, guys. Welcome to April's team meeting. I am super excited to be talking to y'all during the day today. We had a little bit of a schedule conflict, so I appreciate y'all working with me. Like I mentioned before I started recording, we are full-fledged in baseball with the boys. So we're usually there about 4 nights of the week now, and that's just hard to schedule anything consistently. But I also wanted to do something a little different this month anyway, so it kind of works out. But first, I want to do some shout outs from March. We had an incredible month for our team sales. We had over $73,000 worth of sales, so that's amazing for just our team. Our top 10 in PRV: Amber Parker, Jennifer Peterson, Stephanie Schroeder, Tara Dickerson, Karen Hall, Elsa Bush, Meredith McCowan, Paulina Quay, Brenda Hawley, and Karen Norris. So congratulations. A lot of y'all are on here. Congratulations to the top 10 in March. Paid at title: Jennifer Palmer as star, Jennifer Peterson as star, Karen Norris as star, who also promoted to star, and Amber Palesci as lead, who promoted to lead. So congratulations to all of them. To be promoting during the spring/summer is pretty dang good. So just take that as you will. Most active frontline: Paulina Quay with 7, Laura Blaylock with 5, and Jennifer Peterson with 5. So most active frontline is something that we talk about a lot for leadership. In this business, you don't have to have a team if you choose not to, but if you do, most active frontline is one of the things that we really focus on to grow your team, because that's when that trickle effect comes in. What you're doing, your team's going to do so and so and so and so. So that's just super important to note. I have some announcements for y'all today as well. Our leaders meeting is going to be next week. Make sure I get my times right. And we are having a special guest. Yes, next Wednesday. So a week from Wednesday, we're having a special guest come and talk to us about her top leadership tips. Her name is Lisa Allwood. She actually lives in the UK. She is a Shining Star award winner for the UK. So I'm super excited to hear from her. She is literally a bundle of joy with a bow on top. She is just everything that every leader should want to be. She has so much information. She has so much to give. So she's going to be coming and talking to our leaders, which are lead consultants and above, next Wednesday for our leaders meeting. If you are a leader, I think everyone who is on, if they're a leader, they're already there, but we do have a leaders group for lead consultants and above. And it's just a different type of atmosphere where we focus more on leadership type content, and just help each other out. It's a group for people who are wanting to build their business and continue to build their business and see their business as more than just a hobby or a side gig, but they're actually trying to grow that into a real business. This is just a totally different mindset. Other announcements: SFR, and I think almost everybody on here is already registered. Brenda, are you coming to SFR this year? Oh, you're muted. Brenda's new, so even that she's here is great.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
I can't come. I'm having my second knee replacement at the end of June.
Oh, man.
So I'm not going to be up to coming, but I'm looking forward to the next one.
Yeah. So we also actually have a virtual option for SFR too. It is not anywhere close to what you're going to get in person, but at least you get some of the trainings and stuff like that. So that's something that you could look into if you're interested.
Okay.
But yeah, so SFR is our biggest event of the year. One time a year, everyone gets together from all over. They choose one spot, and this is the first year that they're going to have it on the East Coast. So super excited for that, as I am close to the East Coast. A lot of us are. They usually keep it over in the West Coast. Last year it was Utah, the year before that, it was Texas. Well, the year before that, it was COVID. The year before that, it was Texas. So we're super excited to have it on the East Coast. If it is, it's going to be in Charlotte. So if it's in driving distance for you, definitely take the opportunity to come. For those who are watching the replay too, because it's not very often, at least for me, from my experience, that I get to drive to an SFR. Usually it's far enough away that I have to fly. So I'm super excited not to have to pay that expense this year. If you want more information on it, you can obviously search the workstation. There is information on the news tab. There is also, if you just search SFR in Simply Grace and Grit, you will see live videos from people who have been. You'll see all kinds of content from past years, just to get more of a feel of what exactly that is. And then the last thing is our Scentsy Club for announcements. And that's going to kind of lead us into what we're doing today. But with Scentsy Club, our second part of our incentive has started this month, and it's literally all about Scentsy Club. So it is a little bit more lenient than it has been in the past, which I'm thankful for. But you need to enroll 3 new club members that have a order of $50 or more after discounts and before tax and shipping. So it is very, very specific. And I sent an email this morning, and it had a training actually from Amber Ryan. She did her team meeting on that this month, and it has some really good tips in there. There's also tons of training on the workstation. Again, if you search Simply Grace and Grit and search Scentsy Club, you'll find graphics, you'll find information, and really taking the time to go over that. Some of the tips that I'm going to give you really quick is your best customers. If you're going through people, look at your order history and see who is ordering between 1 and 3 months, they could benefit from this, okay? Someone who talks about running out of things a lot, they're going to benefit from Scentsy Club. Really, everyone is going to benefit from it, but those are the people that you can pinpoint to say, hey, I know you order every month or every 2 months or every 3 months. This Scentsy Club is made for people like you in mind, okay? The other thing with Scentsy Club is I am personally offering, and you don't have to, but I am personally offering a personal special for my people who enroll this month. So I included it in my customer email. I have posted in my customer group to ask me about my special. Because you cannot post personal specials publicly, but what I am doing is I'm doing a free mini warmer with that that Scentsy Club order of over 50 after discounts, but before tax and shipping, or one product that's equal to or less than the value of a mini warmer. So maybe they want like a classic clean bundle or something like that. That's not less than, just kidding. Maybe they want a counter clean, or maybe they want something else. I don't know. That's not a mini warmer. I'm giving that to them for free just for signing up. Again, it's a $50 order after discounts. So you got to think that 10% and that half price item. Okay. So keep that in mind when you're talking to people. But if you do that, if you have those 3 clubbers sign up, they have to run, that club order has to run by June. So that's the other thing. If someone just ordered and you're like, gosh, she orders a lot, you could say, hey, we need to talk about Scentsy Club. And if she's like, oh, well, I just ordered, they can space out their order. So if they just ordered this month, they can choose their date to run again later. Okay. It doesn't have to run right now, but for the incentive, it does have to run by June 30th, which if they run it this month, even if they do 3 months out, what is month? April, May? No, 2 months out, then it needs to run by June. With that, if you get that, earn that incentive, you'll get the Scentsy weighted blanket, which I've never seen them do. Again, it is 15-pound microfiber blanket. It's 50 inches by 70 inches. Huge. I've never seen anything like it, but it is under your workstation under more and incentives. It has a picture of it. And it has all the information for the first part, and then it has all the information for if you earn all 3, you get a Scentsy mini fridge. And then there's a top 100 bonus for sponsors and PRV. So there's a lot going on, and there's a lot of incentives right now, okay? So if you're like, I don't know which way to turn my business, go to your incentives tab and it's telling you exactly what you should be focused on. Okay. So this month so I'm not sure if y'all, I'm pretty sure I told y'all, but I actually planned a SSD retreat. Me and a couple other of my SSD friends planned a retreat for SSDs here or locally in Nashville. And we got to talking a lot of what is helpful and what people do and all of that. And some of the people had mentioned what's called a working hour. And that's not necessarily what it's going to be this month, but it's something to keep in mind maybe for the future if that's something you're interested in. But it's a time really for everyone to come together and share what are they doing, what is working, and really just a time to say like, I need fresh ideas, or here's what's really working, here's what my focus is. Right now I'm hearing a lot of different things from a lot of different people as far as where they are in their business and how they feel about their business. So I'm interested in hearing from y'all if you want to share. If not, that's okay. Just say no, thank you. I do have a few things to share as well, but if anybody wants to kick us off, just unmute yourself and drop what's working really well or just how you're working lately.
I'll go first.
Anya's gonna go.
I'll go first. I am driving, but one thing that's working really well for me when it comes to my teamies is, of course, the weekly email, right? And that's how I've asked them, how is it best that I communicate with you? It's not the team page, which is so surprising to me. But it is the email. And then even dropping in things that they can use in the email. So here's a template to this Canva link for the Mother's Day thing. Here's a template to this for the bricks. And that way they have access to things, but it's right in their email and it's just probably easier to find for them. And then of course, those one-on-one communications and knowing where they're at in their mind. If they don't want a big business, I'm not going to push them to have a big business and they're not in the forefront of my mind when it comes to working with them. And it's been received, I've been very honest, it's been received very, very well. So there's that. And then when it comes to my personal business, one thing that's been working really well for me is Project Broadcast. I have set up my follow-ups through Project Broadcast. They sound like it's one-on-one, but it's easier for me just to go in and mass click. And I've been using a spreadsheet that Sylvia made, and then I highlight them in different colors. So all the April people are one color, all the March people are one color. And then I can just go find their names in Project Broadcast to follow up with them about their order all at once. And then I can do an individual conversation from there. And that's been really, really helpful because I suck at follow-ups. I don't like to do them. I feel like it just takes a really long time, but it's taken a lot less time this way. And I've gotten to know a lot of my local customers, which I haven't been able to do in the past like 3 years. So I'm really pumped about it and it's been good. So that's what's working for me in my business.
So when you I'm sorry. I don't know if y'all are gonna echo. Okay. Am I echoing still?
No, you sound good to me.
When you use Project Broadcast for your follow-ups, are you using that? Like, how are you using that? Is that set up on a time, or you're just, you know who you have to contact and you like select them and send it? Stephanie asked the same thing.
So with the Excel spreadsheet and how I highlight them for different colors, like I have it in there to where, say, the March people are all pink. Well, then I can go click all the March people in Project Broadcast that are pink on my Excel spreadsheet and send them the exact same message. How did your order come in? All at once. And I'll schedule it for right then and there. So like I do a template, but it's scheduled for right then and there as I do it. And then I can do individual conversations from there with them. And then I can go back and say, what's before March? February? I can go back to February people, say my February people are blue, and then I can send them, I know you've already received your order. We've already talked about it. Are you ready for a refill? Do you want a party? And it can be all at once. And so that way I'm following up with them all at once, but in big groups. And then when I only send 1 or 2 extra text messages a month, like the bricks are coming, here's what's coming, let me know if you want one, then that's all at once. And it's like they're just more, I don't know, they're more responsive when I do it that way, if that makes sense.
Okay, so you're using for your follow-ups what's your timing look like? I think that's what Stephanie's
So
asking.
on the spreadsheet,
Yeah,
okay, so on the spreadsheet, so I'm gonna be really honest. I don't have like on the 20th of the month, I do this when it
Okay.
comes to follow-up. Okay. So for me, I have the first follow, and I have little check boxes, and I can share it with you guys too. I think Sylvia made it up, but I just tweaked it to me. But it's like the first follow-up. And so whenever I get that done within, the first 2 weeks, then that's what I do. And then the next one is probably going to be the next month. And then it also has a place for mail. So I know what I've sent them even for mail. So all of my March people are going to get one set of mail, and it has a little checkbox, so I can just check them off that yes, they got their mail. Yes, I checked in about their mail, and I do this. The message all goes through Project Broadcast. And then for their second follow up, it's going to be the same thing. So everybody's boxes in each color are different checked, because I'm not quite to the next follow up for my March people.
right. Gotcha.
So does that make sense? Probably what I don't know, like every 2 weeks ish is when I'm going to go in and
So
like actually.
you don't in. Okay, so you go in and do it manually every time you send a message. You don't set it up to auto send like in 2 weeks, in months, in 6 months. You actually do it manually every time. Does that make sense what I'm asking?
Yes. Yes, I did not set it up to where it's just going to automatically run. It's where I actually have to sit down and do it all at once. But it's making me more intentional with it.
Do you do it on Drip Campaign, Kara? I'm trying to experiment with this follow-up thing. I think it can be pretty awesome, but Kara can probably speak to
The
it.
way I shared it with Anya, it's not a campaign, because I'm like Anya, my mail outs are never on time. So I base, and I'm going to be doing a training of what I shared with Anya, because I kind of wanted somebody else to try it out before I shared it with everybody. And it seems to be working for her. I have a copy of the spreadsheet. Yes. And I base my follow-ups on my mail outs, because that's what I used Amy for. I used Amy based on my mail outs. So I didn't do the 222 thing, because I'm not consistent with like, it's going to go out on the 5th. Sometimes it goes out on the 12th. So the way I do it is I go into my workstation, I go into contacts, I do last purchase, like sort by last purchase, and I always send out happy mail for like, let's say right now. So for March and February, and then I send out like this little postcard thing for my January people for the 90 days. So I always make a spreadsheet of that just so that I know who I'm mailing things out to. So it's just like, these are the people I'm supposed to be following up with, like, duh. So I use that to kind of know who I'm going to be following up with. But the spreadsheet that she's talking about is also something I used to do all the time. And I'm like, why am I double working it? So I used to always have a customer order thing where I'm like, this person ordered on such date with the party, how much they spent, did I send a thank you, did I follow up, whatever. So I do that on my spreadsheet, and I can actually, if I can share my screen, I think I can, just so that I can show you real quick the blank one. Oh no, you have to let me know. You have to let me do it. But anywho, the spreadsheet, basically I will have their that kind of info, and then the delivery date, just so that's the other time I do talk to them, is like, hey, your delivery, your thing's going to be scheduled to go out on Wednesday, whatever. So I put the date for the happy mail for number 1. So I just sent out on April 6th, I sent out all my mail. And so I put that next to the happy mail 1s for the March people, happy mail 2s for the February people, and happy mail 3 for the January people, right? And so I wait about a week to then contact them. And the way I shared it with Anya, and I can share it with everybody, is I made templates for the first Happy Mail, the second Happy Mail, the third Happy Mail. I also have one for my VIP people where I send them like the deluxe pack of stuff because they spent over $100. I have my Clubber template, and it's just to start the conversation. So instead of going to this person, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste, instead you just have that one template and you send it out to all those people from March, all those people from February, all those people from January. And then you just wait for them to contact you. And then you just start having a conversation. I was always worried about using Project Broadcast to do campaigns because I didn't want that to be like icky. Like all of a sudden I'm sending them something on the second month and they just ordered and I'm like, oh shoot, I forgot to take them out because they just reordered. So for me, it's easier to just have that first message to go out, and then they contact me on Project Broadcast basically with that text, and I just can't have that conversation. If they reorder, there's a button that says reorder that I can click, a check mark to click, and then I black out whatever parts they did because their Happy Mail is going to start again on the next section wherever they ordered from. Right. So, and the reason I like to use Google Sheets is because as you're putting that person's name in, it'll pop up if they're already in the Google Sheet. And so you can find them and then go there and black out the rest of the stuff. So you're not worried about sending them Happy Mail again, if that all makes sense. So I'm going to do all of this in the training, but the problem is I have to blur out everything to be able to share it with you guys. So that's going to take me a hot minute, but I feel like this has actually been keeping me on task because it is based on my Happy Mail, because I can ask them, how do they like their order that they just had? I can also ask them like, hey, how's your refills? We might need to get you some more, but based on the fact that like, did you get my purple envelope? What did you like out of the scents that I sent you? Blah, 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 kind of thing. So that's all that.
I just want to say that one step that might make all of this a little more efficient for everyone is to use tags. If
Yeah.
I tag my customers, so like they'll be February 23. So then everybody who comes in, then I just have to select that tag and then I don't have to go through and pick out all 15
Well,
people or whatever.
What do you do if they're repeat people and then they just reordered and you have them as February, but they reordered in March?
They can have as many tags as you want.
Right,
So
but
you
I'm
could-
saying is that one at the February, then all they get 2 messages because they're February and they're March.
No, because you could have a March tag and a February tag. Like you could filter it out that way. It just helps you chunk stuff together if you have a lot of customers you're importing. So it's just one way to help you sort your people.
Well,
So like
so you could always, like, if you are going to add a tag to them and you're going to and they can only have one tag, you could always just take the other one right off, right?
yeah, but you can have as many tags as you want.
Yeah.
So like some of the tags that I use, like I have some customers that are only wax people. So I tag them wax, or if there's if they do a flash sale. So that way I can
Yes.
filter real quick to text them, or
Because there are
If there's-
flash sale only people.
yeah, or Disney. If they only order Disney
Yes.
stuff, then I know
Love
that I can you can customize that. Your whole idea is to leverage the contact information you have to be able to direct your sorry, I have a loss of words right now. My coffee's still coming in. Okay, so if you don't want to make yourself so noisy all the time to all your customers, because it doesn't, you don't want to know about everything that Target sells all the time. You only want to know about the things that you buy from Target. So that's what you're doing with tags, just helps you be able to do that. It's a different way to use Project Broadcast besides follow-up. So, but I know you guys are talking about follow-up, but I just find that the tags helps me narrow down who I'm following up with. And then it also gives me a date indicator for like next March. I know these people ordered last March, so it kind of gives me a chance to do that.
That's smart. Yeah, so the other thing is just to like step back a moment from project broadcast and just talk about follow-ups themselves. If you're not doing that in your business, like you really are doing yourself a disservice. And I say that from experience and from not following up because it's not easy from Amy anymore. But when you do it, and it's not just, hey, you haven't ordered in a while, or hey, how are you liking your order? Just touching base and following up and making them know that you still see them, you still know them, you still are interested in who they are as a person is so much more important than just saying, hey, how was your order? And that comes from experience, because when you're just asking your customers about their orders all the time, or you're asking about Scentsy all the time, they're going to start tuning you out because they see you as a salesperson and not as a friend. So I have been, it was actually since the catalog change, when we had our last catalog change, that's when I caught up on my follow-ups, because I literally messaged everyone to let them know what was leaving. And it was a lot of people, but it led to a lot of conversations. And yes, it led to a lot of orders, but it kind of opened that door back up by just touching base with them and saying, hey, I know. And some people are like, how do you know that I ordered that? And I'm like, oh, it's this awesome thing that Scentsy offers us. Actually, at the workstation, we can see you, you know, and I can run reports on what you've ordered. So if you ever have any questions about what you've ordered, you know, so it just starts that conversation of being real with your customers. And they're like, how do you remember that I ordered that 3 years ago? You know, but the follow-up of our business really should be put in your daily, monthly tasks, whatever you want to do it. And it doesn't matter how often you do it, as far as daily, weekly, or monthly, but I suggest at least monthly, because then it gets away from you and then it piles up and then it kind of becomes a thing that's like, I don't want to conquer that, you know? So yeah, love that. What else are y'all doing with follow-ups, or just in your business in general that's working?
So I'm trying something different for my parties, because I'm always trying something different with my parties. I have decided to, instead of doing a 30-minute live, like some people were suggesting to me, I was doing a coaching call series with home office and like 3 other directors. And I decided, instead of doing like a 30-minute thing, because nobody sits for a 30-minute live, like 4 mini lives at like 9 o'clock at night, when nobody in my house is awake but me. And for 5 minutes, talk about something. And I give them a poll on like the first day of the party to be like, what 4 things do you want me to talk about this week? And I tell them what 4 days I'm doing it, because I'm going to pick those 4 days depending on what's going on in my week. And of course, more than likely, it's going to be wax and warmers, oils and diffusers and that kind of stuff. So I'm going to try that out, because I've heard other people say if they go live, then they get more orders, because my parties have been pretty quiet, barely qualifying if they qualify. So I'm trying to change that all up and everything. And we'll see how that goes, because this is the first party I'm doing it, and it started today.
So
don't
you're
mind.
taking the 4 things that they say and you're doing the lives on those 4 things.
Yes, for like 5 minutes, like
Gotcha.
nothing super crazy. If I mean, like if I get interaction and people are asking me questions, I'm going to go with it. But for the most part, I'm just going to go 5 minutes of like with the wax and warmers, I'll make sure I talk about the warmer and scent of the month. Right now with the bricks coming out, I'll talk about the bricks, maybe even the 10 new scents, but I'm not going to go too crazy with everything, because they get that information at the party, but I want to show them. So I'll probably show whatever warmers I have here or around my house. With the oils and diffusers, I might do the same thing, show them each one, how they work. The wall fans and the pods, especially, like just keep it really short unless people start actually asking questions. And I also put in that post with the poll that whoever votes and shows up will get like an extra entry into the door prize for the party, kind of thing. So,
And you do posts too?
oh,
Or
I
just
post all week long, but it's just like, I'm going to try. And I was always worried, because I've done lives at like 6:30 at night, because I'm like, oh, maybe that's when it'll work. But then goes into my family life, which is not okay. But one of the girls says she does it at 9 at night because a lot of people who do have like smaller kids, their kids are in bed already and they're scrolling. So while they're scrolling, they can just be on my party page watching me. So I was like, we'll give it a try. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, it's always a good idea to switch up what you're doing for your party. I know that a lot of us use like My Mock Party, but that really is for new consultants, not necessarily someone who's been doing it for years. And of course, if you use stuff from it, totally fine. But as far as your layout and what you're sharing, the mock parties are really just a place for you to start and build on. And I think some people may have gotten that mixed up and they're like, oh no, this is what Whitney uses. That is actually not what I use in my parties. I do use some of the posts, but that is just like a basic outline that you can build from. So if it's not working, change it up. Like Sylvia said, some of her parties aren't even qualifying. Okay, something needs to change, right? We're not just going to sit here and do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. Now, the other side of that is that just like our business, parties have ebb and flows too. So sometimes people are all about some parties and then sometimes they're sick of parties. And I think that's where we are right now, and that's okay. But figuring out, again, switching that up or figuring out a way that's going to catch people's attention. So it's, I mean, I'll be honest with you, I don't look at Facebook party events on my Facebook. Who does, right? Unless you're messaging me and saying, hey, I'm having a party, I'd love, or a text message, unless your host is willing to do that, it's going to be hard to catch personally my attention. So like, I get it. I get so many invites a day, a week, whatever. We have to really set ourselves apart from how that's going on. So just keep that in mind when you're partying. Yes, Stephanie said if they don't turn on notifications, they see nothing. And that's the thing. Facebook puts you in a group and they put you on highlights, which is like once everything's over. And the other thing is Facebook's not really that reliable here lately. I'm getting notifications days, almost weeks later. And I'm like, this is crazy, right? So we have to do something. We have to be smarter than Facebook to stay on top of that, or maybe find a different way to party, like scroll parties or whatever it is. But we can't just sit there and say, oh, parties aren't working and just keep doing the same thing. We have to try and switch it up. So, I mean, I'm in the point right now, I asked 25 people to party just last week, and guess how many people said yes? One. And she used to be a consultant, and I'm trying to get her to reinstate instead. So like, that's where we are right now, and that's totally okay. That's why I'm really focused on club this month. You know, my club is already almost at 500 a week in the month, because that is a strong suit. So yeah, and it's rough. It's going to happen. You're going to have those months where it's like, I'm doing everything, but everything's not happening. And that's when you just have to keep going. So, anyone else want to share what's working or some ideas of what they're doing? Yeah. Yep.
I'm working on building up my local customers. So one of the things that I have found that is really helpful, we've already talked about follow-up, but I have had a really hard time having parties. I'm doing this. My situation's been the same as you, Whitney, where I'm asking and people just aren't interested. So I am trying to build the momentum of what I call my VIP shops. So I give those personal party links, and then I'm building a scroll party to go with their personal shopping links. And that's where I'm seeing a lot of momentum. And then, sorry, my 5-year-olds. Then the other thing has been, I have been able to, right, for us here in Hawaii, our shipping is never free. So what I've been trying to do is build up that I'm doing a local order, because then if people just want 6 wax bars, for us, shipping the lowest you can get is $20. So if I do a monthly order and I get enough people in, I just pay the $20 shipping and get those orders. But then what's awesome is that if you follow up with them, then they want to order again the next month. And that's where I'm really seeing my stuff build up. But then I'm also getting the party benefits. So then that helps me get some extra things. So when I deliver them, I can put some bonus stuff to spoil them that makes them want to order again.
Yes, I have a girl to send you actually, Kara, because she pretty much told me the other day she's done because of shipping. So I'm gonna send her to you so you can help her out.
Yeah, well, I'm glad to do that, but before you do that, you can think, if you have anybody that's further away, Scentsy Club is the best deal because Scentsy Club is only $15 shipping. And so, when you get especially if they're a wax person, getting them to order their wax that way and getting them to understand that you can change what's in that order all the time.
She's
It's
a
lot of
very,
teaching.
she's a very honest person, and she just told me I'm not paying $20 shipping or any shipping.
Yeah.
We're in the US, I'm not doing it anymore. I was like, I totally get it. Like, I'm not
Yeah.
even gonna argue 20. I don't like to pay shipping. I don't like to pay our $10 shipping. So
Yeah, and ours doesn't, even if you have like an $800 order, you still don't get free shipping. You pay the percentage for.
I mean, y'all are pretty far
in the
away.
middle of nowhere.
Oceans away. Yeah, who wants to talk more about the scroll party? Lauren had asked for someone to do that. Do you want to talk about that, Kara?
Okay, so scroll party, I think Sylvia can probably talk about this too. What I use is Canva to make the pages. And it's basically, I just use the same template. It's pretty easy to change out colors, names.
Hello?
Yeah. Hi. Are we there? Are we good? Sorry. And then I personalize it so that each person, it'll say like whatever their name is, their VIP shop is what I call it. And then I just ask them to just share it as widely as they want. And that's really what's working. It's just a party incognito, but what the scroll party is that then they can text it to their friends and each page just slides on down, and it's just a really easy method. Anya has a really good one. I don't know who she got it from originally. I think that's the template that I used to start mine.
Sylvia, are you on your computer?
Am I what?
Are you on your computer?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you pull up that Canva thing and just show her how it works real quick?
For sure.
I haven't updated my spring summer because I gotta get parties booked first.
All right, let me.
Hey, can I ask Kara a question real quick?
Yeah.
Kara, do you have more luck with the scroll party rather than like a text party where people are getting multiple texts
Yeah, so I
instead
have
of
the
posts?
text. Yeah, I have a text party campaign set up in Project Broadcast. And I have that as an option for my host. And sometimes and what I do when I have a host is I'll say, how do you want to do this? How quickly do you want to do it? And what do you think your friends will respond to the most? Because what I want you to get is your free and half off things, right? So I actually try to give them as many options as possible. So I try to give them a text one and the Facebook thing, because the text stuff, I don't have to, once it's set up once, I don't have to do anything with it. I just need to get them enrolled. So I kind of do that simultaneously, but I find that I think that people like the scroll party better because they can go back and forth easily and they can just quickly go to the sections that they want.
Thank you. I gotta do some Facebook parties are not working for
Yeah.
me.
What-
So I need to do something different. So thank you for your input.
Yeah, what I'm finding is that I'm taking the people that are excited about Scentsy and they want to share like, oh, this smells really great or something like that. And using that as an easy way for them to share. Like, oh, this is where I bought it. And they can just text the link to their friend and that gives them right to that scroll party and they earn the points for it. So I think it's like a digital version to be able to have like where people like the break room parties where stuff was just sitting in the break room. It's that just on the phone.
Okay, let me.
Yeah, and I feel like with scroll parties or text parties or anything where you're not actively there, your host really has to be engaged and excited because otherwise, again, if you send a link out and you're like, hey, check this out, you know what I mean? So it has to be with someone that.
And Project Broadcast lets you be able to have that interaction because they can text you right from, like if they're looking at diffusers. I had somebody that texted me because they didn't know how many milliliters the diffusers were. So she could just text me right from that page and I could.
That host gave you all of her friends' numbers?
I have if on my Canva, if they click there's a place for them to be able to text me from text project broadcast number from the link screen, from the page.
Smart.
So I'm gonna
And-
show the thing real quick.
Yeah.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
All right, so mine's a little different than Anya's because I decided I don't feel like making it personalized for every person.
That's okay.
I found this from someone else and I updated it. And so you go into Canva and you can use like this one, I believe is like your like a iPhone wallpaper, or you can do Instagram story just to have that look kind of thing. And then obviously if somebody shares the template with you, you could just do that. So I just have like a me page, and this is where I put all my hosts. Their links are right here, so that I don't have to change it other than that. And if I change this, it's still the same link I share to anybody and everybody. So I don't have to get a new link for different hosts. But warmers and wax, and then non-wax options. There is a little YouTube video down here. Like I think one of the other ones has that too. I think the one Chastity shared had a YouTube video. There's another one over here. For diffusers and oils, laundry and clean. I have my party pack jot form in here. And then you change this for the specials. So scent of the month, warmer of the month, and anything else. And then join special, or even just the kit itself, and that's it. And so then what you do is you go into share, you go to more, find website, or if you can't find it, just type it up here, website, and then pick scrolling, and then open the website. Okay, because then when you see it, can because you guys can't see this one, I don't think. Let me see. Hold on, I'm gonna share the other screen now because it popped up. There we go. My Wi-Fi is a little wackadoodle. So anyway, when you scroll, it'll pop up looking like this. So this is what other people see. Excuse all that crap, because my internet is just stupid. It'll just look like this, and they can click on anything that has links. So why is that like taking forever? Stop
Yeah, and when you do it on a phone, it scrolls literally from page to page.
yeah, so
So
it'll anything that you want highlighted, so like this one, you click on the link and you put in your link here. Or if it's not linked at all at that point, you can either click these 3 dots and go to link, or you can, tap whatever you want to have the link and go, well, usually it's up there. Anywho, right here, and you click the link and you put whatever link you want to put in there. And so whatever is highlighted with a line, they can tap, just like how with these, they can tap these to go to the party, basically.
Lauren, if you can do PowerPoint, you can do Canva. It's not any harder than PowerPoint.
That's pretty much what it is.
well, and
And you-
another thing that Anya said, like, I'm not to call Anya out, but I'm the same way. Like, very rarely do we make this our own. Someone else is sharing these links. We're taking them because they're sharing them, and we're making them our own. So don't feel like you have to like start from scratch with any of this
Right.
stuff, because it's literally all there. I think the only thing I've ever made in Canva is like the banner for the $25 special. Like, it was not, you know what I mean? Like, and even then someone had done that before. So
I did it for you.
yeah, and Canva is literally like, once you get in there, it is super fun, at least to me, to like just play with it and figure it out. Don't feel like you have to like start with a brand new blank canvas.
And
And
if you are using Project Broadcast, what I do then is I take that website and I make it a trackable link. So then I actually know how many people are opening up those scrolling parties or those links. It helps me see that. And then it's easy for me to then tag them that there's somebody who uses
Mhm.
the links.
How do you
Yeah,
make
and
that trackable?
The thing with this
Um,
trackable link is that it's also helpful because in Project Broadcast, you can't use shortened URLs. So you
Right.
can't use those tiny or bit.ly or
Bitly.
whatever to shorten like the big Canva thing. So instead you do what she did, which is you make a traceable link, which I can show you guys since I can share, right? I can still share.
Mhm.
The
It's in that same place as like landing pages
Let me just.
Um,
Okay.
I call them the pancakes, the stack of 3 lines.
I call it the hamburger.
Making me hungry.
Which-
But on Google, we have the waffle and then the pancakes, because there's the one that's the 9 dots.
That's true. My internet is just taking forever.
That's okay.
But when you go into Project Broadcast, you can go into, like how she was saying, the hamburger or the pancakes at the top. And then it says traceable links. You go in there. Oh, it's popped up now, finally. Okay. Let's see if it's gonna act right. Here. So you go into right here, and then it says trackable links. You click on that, and I've already used a bunch, but you would just plus name it whatever you want. So so-and-so's party, and you put that Canva link in here and save it. And then what happens is like, let's say I'm like Sandy's Shop and Scroll, right? You'll see the information here, and it will show you, obviously I looked at it 3 times. Nobody else has. But like when I did the spring summer catalog, I can see that 19 people looked at that link.
So you
Okay.
put that link into
So
a message and it tracks
What
it.
you know, what you do is you
Right.
go, let's make a new message, right? Oh, not like that. Let's just act like I'm gonna send it to this girl. So, hi, here's the link. And then go to this little thing here, go to trackable links and put in whatever link you made up. And then it'll look like this on your screen, but for them, it'll look like pb.com/something something. And it's specifically to them. So when they click that link, it takes them to wherever it goes, whether it's the Canva or something else. But Project Broadcast recognizes like they went. And every time they go, you'll see that if they went 3 or 4 times to that link. I don't
So
remember.
one of the ones that was helpful for me is I have the income disclosure as a trackable link. So then I get an idea of who's interested in knowing more about Scentsy Business.
Oh, that's a good one. And like I use Flowdesk now for my emails. It's not as easy as copy and pasting somebody else's Google, but everything that people click in there is traced. Whoever clicks on that link, I know who clicked it. It shows who like how many were delivered, how many were open, like the emails themselves were open, what clicks did they open, how many times they clicked that link, that kind of thing. So you can do you have to pay for Flowdesk. I think there's like a 14-day trial, but I'm finding that it's also helpful for my team, where I can see if people are actually reading my team emails, and if they're opening them and all of that. And even this one new teamie that who's a downline, who we could not contact in any way, she opened the email. So I was like, she's seeing it. But the trackable links are really cool.
The last thing that I wanted to share about Project Broadcast is if you are doing events, I would highly recommend Popple. You don't have to pay anything for Popple, but now Popple and Project Broadcast are connected. So if anybody scans your digital, if you share your digital, business card with anybody, and they share their contact information back, it automatically comes into Project Broadcast.
Nice. And events are starting back up now that it's warming back up. So that's another thing that I actually had on my list to share is, especially if you're trying to build your local customer base, being not just going to events, but being smart in how you're doing them. Jennifer Peterson is on here. I don't know if she's able to speak, but she does a lot of events. And that is a huge opportunity to build your customer base, because me personally, I will do a giveaway. Sometimes I won't even say what it is, but to be entered into that giveaway, I need your name and I need your email address. That's it. Because then I take all of that contact, I put it into my workstation, and now they're getting a weekly email from me. Okay. If they don't want it, they can say, I don't want this, right? But that's 20 to 50 people that now you're connected with. And a lot of times I have to go back and look. I'm like, how do I know this person? I had someone from an event last spring, or actually last summer, message me about joining. And I was like, why does her name sound so familiar? It was from an event that she put in. She hasn't ordered anything from me since the event, right? But she's been getting my emails consistently. That's okay, Jennifer. So being really intentional about not just going to events, because I remember when I first started doing events, I was like, I want to sell, 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 sell. And now my main thing that I want to do that I focus on is meeting people, building that relationship with them, getting their contact information, making sure they have mine, because that's what's going to build your local customer base. So it's kind of like a party, but not a party, because that is why we party. I mean, that it literally is the only reason that we party, is to build that customer base. Yes, it's going to bring in PRV, but if you're not partying intentionally and you're not building a relationship with these people that you're partying with, then you're wasting your time, right? It's the same thing for events. If you're going to events and you're not getting anybody's information or getting your information in anybody's hands, again, it's a waste if you're just going there to sell your stuff. Because it's not just taking the sell and run. That's not what we teach in Simply Grace and Grit or Scentsy. We teach that you're building that relationship with them. You want them to, you need to build that trust with them. A lot of times when you meet new people, they'll say what? Oh, I used to have a Scentsy girl, but I never hear from her. Or I used to have a Scentsy girl, but I don't think she does anymore. Whatever it is. So we want to build that relationship where they know that we're doing it. If you're not, that's fine, right? But if you are, we have to be intentional about it. So that's something that I'm focusing on here locally. I've done really well in my neighborhood, but now I'm like, I want my neighborhood people to introduce me to their circles here too. And just being on the lookout for those events, even if it's a small event where you don't need to bring a bunch of stock, you're still meeting people. So we're
And you
kind of
can
on
set
the
up
hour, but go ahead.
You can set up a QR code that they can scan the QR code, and it automatically gives them a configurable form, and you can put anything you want in that. And that's how I got a lot at my vending events, and that can automatically add a tag to the event. So exactly. And so then when your event comes up again, you can text those people and say, I'm looking forward to seeing you again at Princess Happy Day event or whatever.
So I used to do it the old school way and have them write, but I found that when I did the QR code, so many more people were interested in doing it, because they didn't have to come in my space, like they could scan it and walk away. And then I put on there too, on my thing, I put on the bottom, are you interested in getting free Scentsy, earning a paycheck and all that, or fundraisers, the third one I asked, same questions that are on the piece of paper. And again, tons of leads for parties and stuff like that. So love the QR code. If you're not using QR codes in your business, definitely another one to check out, to look into. Literally just Google it and it will tell you how to make one. But between my Linktree, that's all my business card is now, is my QR code for my Linktree and a picture of my little cartoon girl, because we are in a new, I can't find anything in these drawers over there. So this is my business card, and I get comments on it every time, but it's just, that's it. Because everyone since COVID knows what a QR code is now, because restaurants are using them and all that. So it's not something that you really have to explain anymore. So yes, you can make them in Canva now. You can do tons of stuff in Canva. And Jennifer had asked if it was worth it to pay for it. I personally said yes. I have used the free version when I first started using it, but it also makes me use it more because I pay for it. You know what I mean? So like, it's something that in that Canva group with Scentsy Boss Babe, Canva, whatever it is, like gold. Anything you need, it's on there. So thank y'all for joining me today. I'm gonna go ahead and stop the recording, just because I want to